Okay, guys, this is video number 3 for financial planning to buy a car in 3 years after 3 years, right? So in our last video, you should have get depot amounts in your account at the end of 3 years. Hopefully, according to our plan, you should at least have something around $20,000 to around $12,000 to $20,000. Okay, so that amount is quite important, which is the money you will have after 3 years to pay for the deposit to buy a car. So we understand that to buy a car, normally you can't buy a car by all installments. Sometimes you need to pay a deposit. So according to the task sheet, you need to pay upfront for 30% of deposits. So that's why you need to bear in mind this number. All right. And okay, so let's go to the worksheet, which is the worksheet for you to get your calculation. I try to do some scaffolding for you to do your calculation to justify some of the numbers we have, right? First of all, you need to write your names, okay? So let's say this is Matthew's work. So we just put Matthew, okay? And price of your target car, what kind of car you would like to have, all right? So you might go to some websites and you just scan through the cars. Some cars are quite expensive, okay? So I would say it would be safer for us to buy some cars which is the price is at the lower end, because that's your first car as a student, so you don't want to buy a car which is very expensive. And we try to buy a car which is new or which is brand new or only a few years old, because that's would be easier for you to apply a car loan. All right. So let's say when you look around the car, remember the amount of money you have. Let's say we have around like $15,000 in your account at the end of 3 years. So you try to get the car which is not far away from that amount. Of course, you know that you could pay a deposit, and so as long as your money in the accounts good enough to pay the deposit, then that would be good. So you don't need to find a car which is less than the amount in your account, right? So let's say we try to get the cheapest car as display. So we saw that's the car here, this one, Mazda 2 is a sedan with 2 badges, all right? So this one is quite cheap, so we click into it. So right now, okay, so here's the price. So that's 23,000 for 23,490. Then you could drive away. Okay, so we just bear in mind that number, okay, and 23490, right? So we go back here. So you write that number in. Okay, so that's the price for a target car. Okay, but remember that's the price for now. We are not quite sure how about the price after 3 years. So we need to take into the consideration of inflation rates. Also, how could we get the inflation rate? We know the inflation rate could be changed. So each year might have different inflation rate. So we might go to the website as suggested in the task sheet. So that's the Australian inflation rate website. So we might use the inflation rate from 2016 to 2020, because 2021 we haven't got the full figures. Okay, so these are the figures we need to have. So from 2016, that's 1.3, 1.9, 1.9, 1.6, 0.8. Okay, so remember those numbers. All right, so we might just go back to fill them in. Okay, so that's 1.3%. Okay, and what will be the next one? 1.9, 0.9, 1.6, and 0.8%. Okay, so can we get average inflation rate? All you need to do is add all these numbers together, add both numbers together, and divided by 5. All right, so you know how to do this. All right, so and the figure you will have, use your calculator to find it. So it becomes 1.5, which is good. It's a very neat number. So that's 1.5% will be the inflation rates we are going to use. Okay, so and the expected price after 3 years. So remember, inflation is like a compound interest. It's add on, right? Okay, so you calculate the inflated price as you calculate the amount under compound interest. Okay, so in compound interest, we understand the formula for that is the amount equals 1 plus R to power n, right? R means the interest rate, but here's the inflation rate. N means the number of compounding period. In this case, it's just each year because inflation rate is PA, that means per annum. So you just 1 plus 1.5% to the power of, oh, sorry, we need to have that P in front of it. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Right, I might just rewrite this. Sorry about this. I might just rewrite everything. Okay, it would be easier for me. R percent, okay, and that is 23490 times 1.5. Oh, that's N, right? So that's 1.5% to the power of 3, because that's 3 years, right? So how can we do that? Okay, I will show you the screen of a calculator to show you 23490. Is that the amount we have? Let me go back to see. Yeah, and then you have that 1 plus. Okay, so that's multiplication sign. 1 plus 1.5. Okay, remember in some of your calculator you don't have that percentage sign. Okay, so you might just use, okay, then I divide by 100. How about that? So, yeah, and we go to the power. Go to the power. That's power 3, right? Okay, so that would be the amount 24563 after 3 years. 24563. Okay, again, all these numbers are different in your case, all right? So you need to use your own number. You can't copy from mine. Okay, so that's the amount you should pay for the car. Okay, remember this is just an estimate. It could be cheaper than this, all right? Because normally for the lower end car, it becoming cheaper. Okay, but we just, for the sake of modeling, we just assume that that inflated price, all right? Okay, deposit. Okay, deposit percentage 30%. That's the percentage given by the task sheet, so we have to follow. So how much deposit you need to make? Okay, so deposit means the price, the inflated price. You do need to use the inflated price times 30%, right? Okay, so let's do this one using your own calculator. All right, so that's the amount you need to pay for it as deposit. Okay, will you have enough money for this amount? Okay, let's go back to track your account, right? So in our spreadsheet, your account's worth like $18,392. It's around 18,000 for sure, right? So that means you are more than capable of paying that deposit. You still have like if in that case you still have like you still have 10,000 left. Okay, right. And okay, so how about the loan? Loan would be the rest of money you might apply for loan. You might pay more, okay, because you got more money in your account, but we just, for the sake of modeling, we might just do the loan by using the amount, the price of the car to take away the amount of deposit. Okay, so use your calculator again to deduct that number. So you will have 17194.1 dollars. Okay. Okay, so and okay, so that's the amount you need to pay by loan. All right. So and how about the interest rate? So remember, you need to, when you need to pay back repay the loan, then the bank is going to charge you interest, right? So what will be the interest rate? So let's go back to your task sheet. Remember this task sheet? Okay, so in the task sheet, so you have loan options. You have loan options. So in the loan options, so there's different offers. Okay, right? And you see, okay, so like for the first one, okay, receive a fixed rate 5.45% PA. So that would be the interest rate here. This will be the interest rate here. Okay. A low minimum borrowing amount that you can use to purchase a new car or one up to 2 years old. Okay. So since we are buying a new car, so this one is applicable. You can use this one, right? Or up to 2 years old, right? So you can use second-hand car, but that car can be older than 2 years, right? So good. So that means we can use this one, and you might look for lower interest rate because the interest rate is always the lower the better. All right. So see the next one is a bit lower, so 4.67. But what's the term? Okay, based on your risk profile. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So you need to think about that. So you might still apply for it, but they might not give you. They might not give you. Okay. So you need to think about that, whether that's possible. 4.67. Okay. If they don't give you that 4.67, they might give you the next, which is 5.22%, which is still better than the previous one. All right. Right. So you might just scan through all those offers. All right. And okay, so for simplicity, I might just use the first one, the 5.451. Okay, good. And so I just write 5.45 here percent, and it's understood to be per annum. Okay, time for the loan to be paid off. Okay, so sometimes the loans, they will have some conditions, right? So you see long term, 1 to 7 years. Okay, for the first one. So 1 to 7 years. So how about like I try to do it earlier. Okay, so I might try to do it in another 3 years if that's possible. So because the longer the year, the more interest you need to pay, right? So 3 years means 3 times 12 means 36 months. So you try to pay the loan in 3 years and in 36 months. Okay, so the total interest repay, PRT, right? So that means the amount of interest you need to repay. Okay, so we use simple interest here. Okay, the amount should be okay, the P here is not the price, but the loan. Okay, so that would be, okay, this number is for loan, so you use this one. The interest rate is 5.45%. And okay, T remember it must be in year, not in months. So that must be 3 years. Okay. Okay, we just try to calculate this using your calculator. Okay, so that would be, okay, run off to 1 decimal place. So that's the interest you need to repay. Okay, so how about the total repayment? Total repayment is the loan plus the interest. Okay, so that would be around like, okay. So you borrow 17,000, then you need to repay 20,000 in total because you need to pay for the interest as well. So monthly repayment, how can we get the monthly repayment? Is the amount you totally repay and divide by number of months. Okay, so you just use previous figures. Okay, divide by number of months. How many months? 36. Right. So that's the amount you need to repay. Okay, so that's $555.7. Okay, so that means each month you need to repay that amount. Are you capable of doing that? Remember, after 3 years, possibly you are still a student. Okay, and are you able to finance that amount? All right, so that's the question you need to think. If right now you're earning your extra saving, like we calculate before, is around $400, then that means you need to work more, get more income, right? Okay, then total amount paid for the car. That means the amount due to the loan and also the amount of deposit. Okay, you pay the deposit as well. Okay. Okay, so you add these two numbers together. Okay, so that's the total you have paid for the car. Okay, remember the price of the car would just be 2,4. Okay, just use another color to highlight it. Okay, so that's the price of the car, but now that's the total you're going to repay for the car. So obviously it's more than the price of the car because you're having loan to buy the car. So of course you have to pay the interest in 3 years. Okay, right? So that's the calculation. All right, good. And okay, so in the next video, we are going to talk about some of the evaluation of this loan offer. Okay, see you next video.